and welcome to the SmackDown review. I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture. Jump on Sidgwick from WhatCulture, here to review everything that happened on this week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review SmackDown, but also the show formerly known as NXT 2.0, AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As said, though, joined by Michael Sidgwick to review this week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Little treat for you this week.
No. I feel guilty sat on this because it's like your little buddy hour, your little fun, off-topic world that you've built. I hate it. I don't want to step foot in it, but nonetheless, I just feel like an unwelcome visit. And I know that's not your fault. It's the tone that's repelling me. It's the time. It's the world that's repelling me. It's what do you talk about now? That Gladiators is none at the minute.
Traitors is finished now. Looking forward to proper Traitors starting in January.
Yeah. Maybe we could talk about football or something, because I tell you what, right?
Well, you'd like this. There's a lot of wrestling for you on this show.
It's not. It wasn't good enough.
Ooh.
A lot of it was quite soulless. A lot of it was just there. My God.
Did you like this?
You couldn't. You're not allowed to like this.
What, with all the wrestling?
Yeah.
Some good in-ring work there, but also a fun sit-down, tense meeting between Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I thought you would. Here's the thing. I watched this, and I dreaded this review. Because it's like, trying to think of an example. You know. Might as well get over there. Soccer tangent. One of the worst feelings, like as a football fan, is like you've got a tricky fixture. We're all, you got a game that you're thinking, they're no push over this team. It's going to be a real pain trying to get the result here, but nonetheless, you're excited. It can be done. We can do it, and there's naught worse than going, star midfielder's injured. God, great. And then you just like, there's just something that's missing. And that's what I feel like. I feel like I'm just like, it feels like if you're a part of the SmackDown community, God, and you sat there, oh God, you've had a hard day at work and you're just on your commute home and you're thinking, oh God, at least I've got the Dadleys talking about SmackDown. And then you got me on it. I feel bad. I've got so little to say about this other than like bitchy complaints. I didn't think it was a good TV show.
Well, there was another day added to the streak that they've been doing. There's some good weeks, last few weeks of SmackDown.
You like all the weeks though? No,
it's been a while since we disliked SmackDown. I'll say that, but
what 2019 probably for you, 2021 maybe. Here's my broad thoughts are: I don't like war games. I don't like the build-up to war games.
Like Cody's promo, though, surely.
I had issues with how it was all sort of mapped out.
Okay.
Made Drew McIntyre look like a bitch. A bitch.
He got better, Cody. That was the story of the show.
In an hour.
He got better. He's still showcasing the effects of that brutal beatdown.
An hour. Got bloodied. That is wrestling code for you're kind of knackered.
And he was, but he can still yell and scream about.
Okay. Look, I found the wrestling on this show cliched and soulless. And what are you doing this? Not you, personally.
Oh, I see.
WWE. This isn't like you. Who do you think you are? I was told this kind of wrestling with the lack of selling in that first match was bad, but put it in a WWE ring and it's good. Here's the thing.
That's Dragunov. That's the magic of the old dragon.
If you take away that discourse element from the match and just watched it as a match, which you probably should, or I should, great. 6-year-old ass match. 2019 ass match.
Should we start at the beginning?
Yeah, stuff might organically flow.
Well, I thought you'd like the beginning because it started off with...
We did make a pact, actually. I've probably turned a lot of people off already, but we made a pact. I'll do the majority of the talking on the full gear review.
Yes.
You should have just said, shut up, Sid. We made a pact. I'll talk more about this.
It's good to get your doubts. We got a big recap of everything that was going on, obviously, in Madison Square Garden on Raw. And then we open up the show with the Vision, or 3 members of the Vision's War Games team, at least, in the ring. Logan Paul, the 2 Bronnies, and, of course, Paul Heyman, who says, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. I have a vision for War Games. And I was like, that's the name of the group. It works. I shall bestow that wisdom upon each and every single one of you. In War Games, 5 of your heroes, 5 main event superstars will be locked inside.
Jimmy Uso's one of them. You should have said 4. Honestly, hang a lantern on this. Acknowledge it. Have some good heel. It's Jimmy Uso. He's hopeless. You should have went 4 main event stars and Jimmy Uso.
He's making up the numbers. They'll be locked inside a double cage where Braun Breaker is going to take a bite out of every one of the races. 5 main eventers will be locked inside a double cage where they will be tsunami'd by the OTT, the original tribal thief, Bronson Reed. 5 heroes, 5 main event superstars are going to learn about War Games. They're going to learn you need a strategy, an evil strategy, a ruthless strategy, a violent strategy, a strategy that proves you're a miserable, rotten excuse of a human being, the lowest form of scumbag on planet Earth, something so putrid that the devil himself would sell his soul to you so that when you die and go to hell, there's no competition in running the joint. I give you such a man, ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege to introduce to you the Maverick, Logan Paul. Logan gets the mic. He says, hey, yo, Denver, why don't you shut your mouth? Because I got a lot to say. In fact, I've got 5 things to say. But before he can say that, he's interrupted by the Usos.
Usos!
Out they come. Jay says, Logan, no one wants to hear what you say. Don't run your mouth, OG, like we didn't drop your whole crew on Monday Night Raw. Paul Heyman says, first of all, you just pissed off Logan Paul. Big mistake. Secondly, let's just get this straight. When I created the bloodline, I did that so that the Roman Reigns' family could eat, so that the 2 of you didn't have to live off him anymore. First thing I taught you in the bloodline was the numbers game always wins. 1, 2, 3, 4. He includes himself. 1, 2 counts. That's how many of the Usos there were. You're outnumbered. Which means you're about to get your asses whipped. Are you just that freaking stupid? Jimmy says.
I like that.
You see, OG, we learned from you. We learned from the best. This is SmackDown. You actually think the Usos are going to show up alone? Cody Rhodes' music hits. Crowd goes wild. Where the hell's Cody? No appearance. Suddenly we cut to the back, and he's spilling down the stairs of his, what's it called? The Nightmare Express? His bus, basically.
His bus,
yeah, he's been beaten up.
Bus.
He's been beaten up by Drew McIntyre. Usos run out to check he's okay, and after a break, we see there's SmackDown GM, can't remember what his name is.
It's Nick Aldis.
And the Usos checking on Cody Rhodes outside of the ball arena. Drew McIntyre pulls up and says, see you at War Games, and speeds off.
So, right, I've been a bit busy on Wednesdays of late, so I don't have the full comprehensive rundown in my head of SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct in thinking that Drew McIntyre was suspended?
Correct.
For?
Claymore and a referee, I believe.
Okay. And on Raw, which I do watch on time, so Drew McIntyre just returns.
I think he returned on SmackDown.
Yeah, no.
But he was appeared on Raw.
SmackDown as part of Paul Heyman, the Vision, temporarily.
Yes.
And then Heyman goes to Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, did he mention something about a loophole?
Yes, basically he checked with SmackDown GM. I can't remember what his name is.
It's Nick Aldis.
Thanks. He said, just to clarify, when he showed up on a couple of weeks ago, episode of SmackDown, or maybe last week, I can pick anyone on the rosters. And he's like, yep, thanks for coming all the way to clarify that.
Okay.
So he picks Drew. Wait, Drew's suspended. But
you said I could pick anyone.
Right,
okay.
And then as a result of that, and presumably as a result of what happened on Monday, Drew was banned from the ball arena.
He didn't attack Cody in the airport, though, did he?
Parking lot, that's not the arena.
It's part of the arena's property, though.
Well,
if put it this way, if there's a violent crime that happens in the parking lot of the arena, you're not going into the arena. You know what I mean? Say something horrific happens to someone in the parking lot of the arena 5 hours before SmackDown, and imagine Michael Hamflett's there, and he's like, "Well, sucks for that guy, but I'm here for my WWE, so I'm going to go right in." Does that show happen?
Probably. They'll just work around it.
You know what I mean? Practically, it is possible.
Oh, right, okay.
But I'm saying, does the whole section get cordoned off?
The section, not necessarily the arena, gets closed off. They just be like, "Oh, just put some tent up in there."
What if the suspect is working in the... It's the same thing, is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Just loopholes, man. Love me a
It's
loophole.
just loopholes, man. It was the parking lot's part of the arena.
But he's banned from the arena itself, not the parking lot of the arena. That's just he could have. What if one of his mates wanted to lift to the arena? He wouldn't be going in the arena. He'd just be driving up to it. Drive up to the arena, but not.
Yeah, no.
Also,
got banned from a road.
Also, maybe he didn't even drive into the arena. Maybe he was already hiding on the bus, and therefore, if anything, Cody's brought him into the arena.
Yeah, but he's still... Yeah, but like an Uber driver would have... Under normal circumstances where he's not allowed in the arena, an Uber driver would have taken him.
He wasn't allowed in the arena. That's why he left immediately. He was abiding by the rules. He said, "Oh, I shouldn't be here. I better get off the bus. Get out of the way, Cody." Knocked him down the stairs in his rush to leave. Jumped in his car. See you at War Games. Or tonight.
This happens on Dynamite. You're taking the piss out of it and questioning it.
Don't know. We'd have to wait and see on that one.
For them to inevitably do a car angle in about 2 weeks. Yeah, probably.
I like this.
No, you do. I will say, some of Paul Heyman's lines about Logan Paul weren't bad. Usually I hate his exposition dumps. Like when he tries to build up Bronson Reed as like this monster who can just flatten anyone with a tsunami. I just do not believe a word he's saying. But he seemed to kind of relish the introduction of Logan Paul. So if you look on the tier of Paul Heyman guys, like Lesnar, Punk, Roman, and then at the bottom we got little Curtis Axel. Bronson Reed is just next to or slightly above Curtis Axel. I just do not rate him at all. And I got a little bit vindicated, I would say, later on.
We'll get there. Before that, US title open challenge. Ilja Dragunov's been doing this for weeks, obviously. We even got an explanation as to why the challenger was here. Because wait a second, you don't go here, JD McDonough, but he does because his mate's in the John Cena tournament. So he's like, "Whilst I'm here, I'll have a bit of that. Thank you very much."
They've given up on it.
What?
The brand split.
Well, it's the one time a year, I think, that you can expect stars from other shows to show up.
Do you do this with Hamflett when he tries to make a salient point?
Who? Hamflett? No, I think we were kind of on the same page when it comes to that.
Same what?
Same page. Is that anything?
I don't know.
Try it.
Recap the match.
Okay. They hit each other really hard. It's kind of a Dragunov staple. I do like the Dragunov matches, especially the bit where there was a bit early on here. I should say Dragunov battered JD early, but then JD got the upper hand by sending him face first into the middle rope, basically, as we went to a break. When we come back, there's like Kawada-style kicks from JD McDonough. Dragunov fires back with a Constantine special. And then there was a bit with some suplexes. Basically, JD dropped him on his head and then sort of went, reveled in it to presumably give him a bit of a chance to recover. And Dragunov loves pain so much, he was like, "Do it again, but do it harder." It's the general consensus here.
I mean, I know he's the champion. He ain't getting over really in front of WWE fans doing this, Dragunov.
It's one of those things.
He just doesn't have the right charisma for that company. I think he can be great. He needs to dial it way down. The fact that he dials it way up, he's a bit of a gift, Dragunov, because his best matches are genuinely great. He's also ripe for the piss take, which I quite enjoy doing as well.
Dragunov goes for another Constantine special. McDonough hits a standing Spanish fly for a 2 count. We go to a break. Again, come back. Dragunov hits a superplex, but as they land, McDonough grabs Dragunov's hair, counters into a brainbuster for a nice near fall. McDonough goes up, misses a moonsault. Big boot from Dragunov, standing Uranagi. He wants to torpedo Moscow, but that gets countered by a running knee from McDonough. A nice moonsault from him for a 2 count. They get up, and Dragunov nails him with the torpedo Moscow after eating a headbutt from JD. A powerbomb, H-bomb, 1, 2, 3, Dragunov retains.
I found this to be a totally soulless, air quotes, banger in terms of the way it was wrestled and in terms of the way it was laid out. Like, just a 2019 ass match, best exemplified by the spot where JD, the heel, no sells and then does another move.
Yeah.
So it's one thing to see this kind of imported strong style spot, I guess you would call it, in a WWE ring like that. It never gets a major reaction when they do it in the main roster nowadays. It just feels like something that wrestling has just got in its head that, oh, that's just what we do now, let's do it. It never gets this huge, ooh, why is JD McDonough, scrawny, undersized heel, as part of Gaggle of Bastards, the Judgment Day, doing a spot like that and just basically carrying on like he's in NXT UK still? You know, this match was an NXT UK match, which A, isn't a great fit for the main roster in 2025. The execution was good enough where it got a bit of a reaction in the building, but they didn't tear the house down or nothing, which is what this match, quite nakedly and transparently wanted to do. And I don't like McDonough. I don't like his vibe. Never really have. I find it better in tags when the whole idea is it's all action and he can cheat more. And there's like, when he's got Judgment Day people around him, I don't know, it just seems to work a little bit more. Him doing sort of NXT UK fair in 2025 on SmackDown, I just thought I think he's crap, honestly.
Well, McDonough?
Yeah, in the singles match. There's been various bumps he's tried to take. I find him to be a pretty vapid wrestler who, some of his worst impulses, some of his stuff looks outright terrible and laughable, how much he doesn't get it. He reined those in on this episode and in this match, but he seems to wrestle like it's tough guy 2019 NXT UK. He's tiny by WWE standards. He's like in the Judgment Day of all stables. Understand you've got Dominic, and you can't both be this I'm kind of in over my head still, but hey, I've got the belief and that'll power me through, and I'm a prick and I'll just cheat. So I understand why he lets Dom have that role and keep it special for Dominic when he's the real quiz. He's the true, it's the vehicle exists for Dom and not JD McDonough. But you have to, what can JD do that I find credible? Because it's all about me watching it. He barely wrestled like a heel here. Maybe you could say he was a bit vicious on occasion, but I don't know. It's wrestling like he's a tweener who just wants to put on a good match. I felt like there was a disconnect between the group that he's in, the crowd he's working in front of, and the match that he actually had here.
After that, I
feel like I've seen this exact match, if not move for move, but like the rhythm and the structure, like 50 times. For 50 years since 2019. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it looked like Dragunov enjoyed it, I suppose.
No, he always does.
He was really getting off on.
Pain. Is it Will or Charles?
Pain will be.
It's almost as bad.
Might be Charles.
Either way, God, it's not a main roster actor. It really isn't.
After this, we see, because obviously last week she abandoned her team, Charlotte Flair, but thankfully she changed her mind on Raw. And Charlotte and Alexa are walking through the backstage bit. Alexa's really proud of her. Charlotte says, I'm only doing this for you. Doesn't mean I trust Rhea Ripley. And Alexa's like, oh, yeah, about that. And they go into a room, and there is Rhea Ripley with IYO SKY. And Alexa urges her to kind of bury the hatchet with Rhea. And Alexa and IYO leave to give them a chance to have a very dramatic conversation later.
Yes, very dramatic. Very dramatic. What time do you usually do the tangents here?
Whenever you fancy it, mate.
I can't think of anything. We'll talk about computer games on the Raw preview.
We did, yeah.
Video games. If something comes up, I'll...
Okay. Well, Kathy Kelly's backstage with the SmackDown GM. Can't remember what his name is.
Nick Aldis.
Thanks. He had no medical update on Cody Rhodes. He's getting checked over by the medical team. But there's the vision in the background. Paul Heyman's having to calm down Bron Breakker already. And the SmackDown GM says, I don't know what you got planned for tonight, but I know it's not good. I want to be clear about a couple of things. The only reason Bronson Reed is allowed in this building tonight is because he's got a match in the Last Time Is Now tournament. My hands are tied just like they're tied in the whole situation with Drew McIntyre. Because Heyman, loopholes, man, wanted him on his War Games team. But this isn't War Games. This is SmackDown. And as far as Drew McIntyre is concerned, he's persona non grata on this show. Heyman says he's got deep respect for the SmackDown GM, especially because he's the SmackDown GM. We got off on the wrong foot, he says. Look, hey, I know McIntyre's persona non grata. He's not in the arena. He's not in the locker room. He's outside. And not only that, Heyman's asked him to leave because we respect this whole suspension thing you've got going on. We ain't got any beef here. But as for Bronson Reed, the only help he needs is finding an opponent stupid enough like Carmelo Hayes to step in the ring with him. And Heyman tells him to have a great show, offers his hand, and then when that's ignored, just shakes Bron Breakker's hand, basically.
That's quite funny, that
was.
Yep.
And then Dragunov's...
I mean, I don't know. How does that get reviewed?
Normally, there's not really...
Okay, that's fine.
But then one of our favourites appears because Dragunov is walking through the backstage, selling the injuries from the JD match when he walks into Tama Tonga. And he just says, it's coming, don't worry. There's Tommaso Ciampa, who tells Dragunov not to worry about Tama Tonga. He's going to take the US title away from him. Ciampa says, you're lucky, because if I wasn't really preoccupied with this tag team match we got later, I'd have already taken it from you. Dragunov calls him a jackass, and Gargano tells him, focus up, we got a match.
Will not get this belt, jackass. What's the deal here?
With what?
Dragunov and Ciampa.
Yeah, well, they've been doing this for a long time.
I know this, but like, why? What's your take on it? What's your read on it?
I think me and Hamflet have said before that it's going to bring out the sort of, right, what are we doing here with Ciampa? I.e., is he doing DIY stuff, or is he just doing single stuff, or is he going to, become the person he became when he was obsessed with like Goldie and stuff in NXT? It's strange that what they're doing here, because normally he's not ducking Ciampa, but he's not facing him. So normally
he's challenging him to be the best version of himself.
Possibly, yes. Either that, or I've suggested they could be doing a tie-in with a new Johnny Knoxville project because of the whole jackass thing. And that, I mean, you like the Johnny Knoxville.
Oh, the Johnny Knoxville Sami Zayn match. The build was awful, if I recall. The TV
his number and stuff.
No, everything they did outside of WWE's auspices was genuinely really good. But they did this lame cattle prod angle on TV.
Yeah.
It was awful. I had low expectations, but the match itself was a total riot. Did you hear Alvarez's fantasy booking?
No.
It wasn't very good. I love Brian Alvarez. I find him such a good swearer. He's got such a good insight, because he's worked extensively, albeit at a lower level. I'm not saying he main evented WrestleMania, you stupid pancakes, waffles, but because he's worked, he's really good at determining, this is what went wrong specifically here, or here's why, it's insight into when a wrestler gets pissed off. He can tell, I can tell by the body language, bro, the wrestler wasn't happy. He just has a really unique perspective. Great ranter. Love Alvarez. His fantasy booking sucked ass. He said that.
I told you my Brian Alvarez story, by the way, from WrestleMania this year.
Where you saw what you thought was Brian Alvarez, but it wasn't him.
I went up to him at Wale Mania. I was like, hey, that's not Brian Alvarez. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, man. See you later. Sorry about that.
Nicholas, you did say, didn't you? You said it's not him, man.
That's because I had eyes.
Yeah. Not me. I was still blinded by the gloriousness of Omos that we'd spoken to. Legend.
Right, okay.
You and Phil trying to gaslight me into thinking that was Brian Alvarez.
I don't think I've ever even been in the same room as Brian Alvarez. I mean, maybe a WrestleMania or whatever, but you know what I mean. And I was like, I mean, I don't know a great deal about him outside of the obvious. And I was like, he's dressed real snazzy if that is Brian Alvarez, but hey.
He
baby.
doesn't dress snazzy.
No.
I've been in the same room with him. He doesn't dress too snazzy.
But maybe I thought, he thought, hey, cut loose, guys.
Different hair, Sid. Yeah, different hair.
Yeah,
hair.
but new outfit, new hair, new glasses.
He does change his hair a decent amount. So Alvarez said that they should do a storyline in which Ciampa is like more desperate by the week to prove himself worthy of the Open Challenge. Just goes on for weeks. And then he finally is like, no, I'm going to do it the right way. And then Dragunov beats him in 30 seconds. I don't like that idea at all.
No. I had a better idea.
I still think it's a better idea than your mate's, sadly.
Who's my mate?
Your mate, Mark Henry.
What was that one?
Well, you're going to have to offer no comment here.
Okay.
But Mark Henry had an idea, not about Ilja Dragunov, about John Cena's last match, that Gunther wins and all the rest of it, but because fans want a happy ending and it's all about making them emotional and all and the like, Joe Hendry should come in at the end, voluntarily lay down for John Cena. What? What's that? That might be the single dumbest take I've ever heard an ex-wrestler say, and Bully Ray exists.
What was it he had recently? Someone had to
What's going on? It busted open, by the way.
LA Knight had to lose his voice or something. I mean, it wasn't good, but it just happened with Ricky Saints, hadn't it?
Is there a weekly earthquake in that studio? Where they just got dropped on their heads continuously, compounding the damage they've already taken throughout their extensive decades-long careers as professional wrestlers. Have they all got head injuries? Should I be more sympathetic? Because I hear some of the dumbest stuff I've ever heard in my life.
Well, you know how good I am at fantasy booking. I think I'm so modest. I'll admit, I think the angle they had at Full Gear and the match that they had at Full Gear between Brodito and FTR might have been slightly better than my idea of Bandito's grandma comes in and costs him the match.
Yeah.
But we'll when we get to the Full Gear review, we'll run through it there. My idea, or mine and Hamlet's idea for this was, we thought that the match was going to happen tonight on the Friday, because I said have the DIY Fraxiom match first. Fraxiom win or whatever, or DIY win. Either way, Ciampa's out. He's been hit with something that he's unconscious or close to it. And that's when Dragunov comes out and goes, right, now is your chance, Tommaso. And they have to Weekend at Bernie's the match with Tommaso Ciampa being held.
The usual bollocks that goes on in this.
Welcome to the SmackDown review, baby.
Look, I'd really enjoy that. I'd like to see your Fed.
Thank you.
Well,
we should do it again.
For the right reasons, mind you.
We should do an all Dadley's fantasy booking promotion thing like we did last year with me.
Yeah, we should.
I want to know what A&L's up to.
Yeah, I know. Big things, big plans. Big plans for A&L.
I want, oh my God. I want to know once you actually understand the rules of the booking.
Yeah, fair.
I want to know what yours look like. I want to know what his looks like.
We should do it. And we've got Christmas content as well. There are a couple of contenders.
Thank you to Lee McVery and Tactical Penguin, who suggested a couple of things that we're going to try and...
Yeah. So the winners will be revealed. You just revealed them.
They're in consideration.
They're in consideration. There's a few ideas in
Twitter
consideration. Imagine that thing, like your favorite podcast, not this episode, but your favorite podcast, and you get to decide the topic. What? If you follow me on X at @msidgwick, scroll down a few tweets. I don't really tweet now, man. And you've got an idea for a pod you've always wanted to record. About 5, 6, 7 tweets down. You get the opportunity to do that if you fire into the old replies. My worry, and here's the thing, I'm probably I offer a valuable public service in that I give you, on a daily basis, the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario for me, with all of this, right, is this keeps going on and on and on and on. Like, Dragunov, you jackass. to Tommaso Ciampa.
They've got 3 different T-shirts out of that, by the way. Have you seen that?
That's pretty good. That was a pretty good bit.
That was good.
It was pretty good.
We'll get it to it when we get to the Fraxiom.
All right, okay. You jackass! You will not get this title belt. And all the rest of it. And then the weeks follow, and Ciampa's like, God, what have I got to do to get a match against this guy? And Gargano's like, hey, Tommaso, stop worrying about that. Worry about our pursuit of the tag team titles and all the rest of it, yeah? So that's a bit of dissension within DIY, and Dragunov's, he's having these vastly overrated banger, quote-unquote, matches against whoever. Dragon Lee can pop over. I get told for about 5 minutes of that is a great TV match before no one ever remembers it. And then eventually, Ciampa's like, what have I got to do, man? What have I got to do? I keep begging you and begging you. You have to prove it! Prove you're worthy of the challenge. Because, like, in my head, Dragunov's thinking, well, Ciampa's like, there's potential for honorable prey there. He's like the Predator, but he's not acting with any honor. He's cheating with this little wise ass. Johnny Gargano and the little heel ways. There's a fighter in you, Ciampa. I demand to see it. All this kind of stuff.
I like it.
Yeah. And eventually, Ciampa's like, you know what? I'm going to go to the ring. I'm going to go to the ring and win a goddamn match against whoever. It doesn't matter. And then Gargano's like, hey, Tommaso, I'm going to go for the low blow. He's like, no, Johnny. Cut the crap. I need a win. And like Johnny's like, me, I guess.
I'm into this, yeah.
And then so there's like weeks go by, episodes go by, and Ciampa's like, he's like in the gym, giving it the AJ Lee's. Yeah. He's like, what are they called?
Pull-ups.
Like, he's got some body, some physique. Like I'm reminded of was it SummerSlam that did the sit-up to avoid the spear?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was incredible. So it's like he's going hard in this gym. He is going hard in this gym. Like Unk does not know that he's done, right? And then Gargano's like, God, check this guy out and all the rest of it. And then Ciampa's like, I'm ready. And Dragunov is like, you show great honor, great intensity.
I mean, you were dreading it, didn't like me about.
You have proven yourself worthy of the Dragunov Open Challenge at last. Get to the ring now. And then Ciampa's like, no one will survive. And then about 10 people jack it on X.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So they'll come out and they'll have this like 12-minute match. And it's like, it's good. They've done some work. They've done some build and all the rest of it. And like they're all hitting each other really hard. And then at the end, Gargano's like, thick of it. Low blow to Ciampa.
Oh, no.
DIY break up because, Ciampa's trying to be this really hard-working babyface, and Gargano's like, well, what we're doing, we're heels, aren't we? And then Ciampa's like, no, we're not. And then they have a match at WrestleMania.
Ah, yeah.
No.
What?
Don't you dare. That's the bad point. That's what I was at the start of all this.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot where you started.
Started at Dread, ended up with the worst accent ever, and now we finish with the word like they're
the match we were meant to get in 2019. WrestleMania weekend.
I think Triple H has always wanted to book it, even though neither of them are over really, nor will they ever be. That he still really wants this to happen, and I'm wondering now, and I'm dreading now, if this whole Dragunov business is a way to try and get this DIY split off the ground again. Christ, when's it ever not going to be, 2018? Nobody the elite to the left of me. DIY to the right. God, could not move on.
Then we got our next match at the Last Time Is Now tournament. Melo versus Bronson Reed. Reed obviously dominates early on. Melo's trying to be quick, but it's Bronson Reed. Hayes counters, though. Counters a powerbomb. Goes after him with a springboard DDT, drop kick to the outside, and he...
Could you put, it gets good, after some initial misery on the bullet points to the review? You're not going to do that, but yeah, you should. To the copy, yeah.
Outcome, Braun Breaker and Logan Paul to check on Bronson Reed as we go to a break. And we come back. Reed's still in control, dominating. Tries for another back suplex. Hayes lands on his feet. Starts to get a bit of momentum, but Breaker causes a distraction, and Logan Paul trips up Mello. Hayes, though, avoids a senton from Reed. Gets a roll-up for a 2 count. Hits a running knee. Flying clothesline. Reed's on the middle rope. And there's a leg drop from Carmelo Hayes. A DDT on the hardest part of the ring. Frog splash for a 2 count.
He's
First 48.
I wonder if Triple H will give him the push.
First 48 gets counted into a world's strongest slam and a senton. He wants the tsunami, but Hayes just rolls out at the last second. He hits Reed with the first 48, dives onto all the members of the Vision. Back in the ring. Hayes comes off the top rope, hits a DDT, but can't get the win. Goes up top again, but misses nothing but net. Huge lariat from Reed instead. Hayes rolls to the outside. Bron Breaker's like, yeah. He's going to hit that super spear of his, but then suddenly, here's the Usos. They brawl with Breaker and Paul. Referee's still distracted, and amongst all this, Cody Rhodes reappears, hits Reed with a crossroads, and chucks Mello back in the ring. Bronson Reed gets counted out. Senator.
Bronson Reed is so dull on offense. His control. I'm hard, big Bronson Reed. I don't get scared for his opponents. He can't. Interesting philosophical question. Can Paul Levesque do anything?
Spit water. Good at spitting water.
You know what? We've talked about this before. It's only when you see Stephanie fail at doing it where you think, oh, that's probably rock hard, Dad. Do you have a go when we're downstairs?
Yeah, so it's spit, shout, but leave some water still in your mouth, right? And then...
Yeah.
I can do that, the famous one. I like the one where he takes off an imaginary T-shirt.
We should have imaginary matches.
Got him.
Sorry, crap that.
Depends whose imagination, though, because if it was his, it would be 3 hours
Yeah,
long.
no. I will say this. There can be no such thing as like a wild man or a scary person unless like rule proven exception Lesnar in WWE with how like polished and synthetic it is. It was a miracle when Jacob Fatu for 2 weeks. I was like, oh my God, I love him for 2 weeks. And then he would cut promos where he's like really, really aggressive and intimidating. Then he turned into, I hate you, Solo.
He's been saying I love you, so like that.
He cannot book like madmen. It's a modern wrestling thing. I don't think Tony Khan can do it either, but like at least someone like, don't make me say the word. It used to be really good. Aura. Powerhouse Hobbs has got aura, right? Samoa Joe's got it. I don't particularly like the ops or the direction of AEW's main event scene right now, but whatever. Bronson Reed's got nothing. I just do not feel like any kind of like, Christ. He's a big guy who can work to a somewhat athletic. I just do not see it in him at all. And in this match, I was genuinely like bored, senseless. I'm glad he's not in the tournament now, man.
Happy for Mello to get the match with Gunther tonight on Raw.
It's about time they see if there's anything there. I'm dubious, but
he was previously yours him with The Miz. You missed all that.
No, I haven't, mate, because every time you've mentioned the name, you have this compulsion to say Oshim.
Why not?
I mean, it is. I do like the way you say it. It's funny. But yeah, I try with Carmelo Hayes. Why not for a little bit? Bronson Reed is ass, bro.
I liked the Cody promo. He's all disheveled.
Does he make action figures? Because he's ass, bro.
Very good. I like that.
You like, is that anything?
Yeah, I think so. Drew McIntyre, I said I was done with you. Now I don't want to be done at all. Your friends, Bronson, you're probably the best in that group. You won't figure it out until you're looking up at the lights. Bron Breakker, where you at? Historically speaking, a Steiner is never better than a Rhodes. Logan Paul, get your drones out, do a flip, none of us care. And Brock Lesnar, don't forget the last person.
That presents me an interesting topic. So I'm just going to interrupt you.
Okay.
Has a Steiner ever been better than a Rhodes? Well, Rick Steiner's the worst of the entire lot. Put him all the way down there. I mean, Dusty. I prefer to watch Scott Steiner than Dusty Rhodes, quite frankly. In the 90s, anyway, Scott Steiner. But, Dusty's one of the biggest stars ever in pro wrestling history. One of the most, considering it was all like fed after a while. Dusty Rhodes was arguably the original king of cable American wrestling TV. He's obviously one of the all-time legends of the sport. Scott Steiner or Dustin? That's a good question. If AEW never happens, I just think the peaks of Scott Steiner's tag run were just incredible. But Scott Steiner, God love him, and I do. My God, he was an absolute phenomenon. He ain't had a match as good as Double or Nothing 2019. Correct hypothesis, Cody Rhodes.
He concludes by saying, Brock Lesnar, don't forget the last person who beat you here was me, not once, but twice. Mr. Heyman, look at me. If I learned anything from that WrestleMania photo, you've represented every single one of those guys on screen. You know what I discovered? It's our relationship. You build them, and I'll beat them. War Games, the match beyond. It's not just a match. It's my damn birthright. I'll see you in San Diego.
You could tell Cody meant this.
Yeah.
You could tell he meant it. Has he been in one yet? In the Fed?
War Games. Was he not in, what was the last one? What was the last?
It was the Punk.
That was,
Roman.
that was the favor.
He weren't in that.
The favor one. Yeah, I was trying to remember if he was in that. Yeah, that was the Bloodline one, wasn't it? What was he doing on that show? He wasn't on it.
Was he in the year before?
2023 War Games. Yes, of course, it's the infamous Punk one. Yeah, he's in.
Yeah, okay.
Cody, Seth, Jay, Sammy, Randy versus the Judgment Day and Drew McIntyre.
In which case, erase what I've just said. Good promo, this. You can tell he loves it. It's his dad's thing, obviously. We discussed this at the start. Is it better if he comes back at the end of the show? Or does it not make a difference? I don't know. It felt like that a cute idea, and an hour just seems a bit much.
Just got better from a vicious beatdown.
Where he's left bloodied.
Anyway, Chelsea Green's hiding from the former.
One thing I actually wanted to point out here, presenting an elusive, earnest debate here on the WhatCulture Wrestling podcast, is I forgot to mention this at the start, because I was mainly like this when watching SmackDown on Saturday morning, but I did go like this. Did a bit of chin stroking. When the Usos were building up the whole, we didn't come here alone, bitch, at the start, and it was revealed to be, Cody's here. They were chanting for CM Punk more than Cody.
Yeah.
Not the first time this year where people have thought Cody might be declining as a babyface.
It's time to do the match at WrestleMania, guys.
Yeah, it is. But then, do you want to do it? If you want that 50, you're risking all sorts when you do a match like that. But if they think, it'll just be a 50-50 babyface match, I reckon Punk would get overwhelmingly cheered above Cody at this point. I don't think it would be personal.
Could you do the turn
What?
mid-match? Like, Cody's like, bollocks to this, I'll just cheat to win.
I mean, I'd like to say that. I've said, like, people...
Or Punk, either way.
I'd like to see them both as heel at this point.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Like, I shouldn't be in charge.
Two of the major
But for two
races
different
WWE
reasons.
has right now.
Two different reasons. I'm not just doing this for, like, Russo fantasy booking. One, I just feel like Cody, CM Punk radiates heel energy to me. Like, I don't know. He's always more compelling as a heel. And I find it baffling. And he's been in two companies and he's had major injuries in both. Suspensions, it doesn't feel like it really has been. But nearly the 5-year anniversary of Punk's return next year.
Yeah.
That's mad. Which is that he's already been, he'll be way closer to being here for as long as he was ever gone. So I understand there's extenuating circumstances, and you, in a wrestling promoter in this day and age, you want to keep your babyface as babyface for as long as possible, It's just mad considering how incredible he is as a heel, that he's only ever done it situationally in certain matches, certain storylines he's played tweener, but like really dickheaded about it. So I just think I'd love to see it, even in the Fed, which wouldn't get it that right for me. I'd love to see like that actual awful energy that he sometimes has just harnessed into a fictional character. I'd love to see it, really would. Cody, it's just kind of timing. He's up to these.
You've got to turn before everyone sort of realizes that your time's up, and it's not there yet.
It's coming.
But there's murmurs. Yeah.
It's murmurs. It's coming. He's had the old boo birds. He'll have been back in the Fed for 4 years. In April,
38, it would be.
Yeah, 4 years in April. That is, in this day and age, a hell of a. And I know he had the 9 months out as well, to be fair, but like that is a hell of a run to be a babyface at the top for as long as he was. So, and again, Cody Rhodes as a heel. It's like, is he hilarious? I think it could be magic. He hasn't done it in. Again, it'll be 96 years. He's basically, he was the face of the Revolution. He's the only one who could bother doing the promotion, the publicity for AEW. So he kind of was chosen to be the whole, I'll be the face of this, I'll be the voice of this. I'll say the Fed's crap and mobilize this like AEW fan base and stuff. But he was 2018 when he was like threatening to change the Bullet Club design and just being this arsehole. That celebration after Supercard 2018. He's magic as a heel. I just want to see them both do it.
Yeah. Next couple of things were slightly confusing, and then I remembered, oh, yes, this is a double take.
Oh, yes.
Because I was like, they'd promised the Chelsea Green celebration, and then she was hiding from Julia and Kiana James, who shouted at Alba Fire instead. And she said, not sure about this. Maybe we should wait till next week, which to the people in Wall Center is about 2 hours after she said it, basically. But there was a little tease of her, again, calling herself the greatest women's champion ever, and Jade Cargill being there. I think there's a little bit of breadcrumbs there. And maybe it's more hope than expectation of eventually down the road a Chelsea Green world title win. Not necessarily from Jade, but I like the fact that they're just put those two in the screen together. And then Sami Zayn cut a nice promo, basically hyping up the Survivor Series match which go down on Friday, but it's already happened. But don't worry.
Why couldn't they just put that on Survivor Series? You know, the Survivor Series match.
Yeah, it's just it's the thing that they do nowadays, isn't it? They put certain matches on the pay-per-view, and then they're basically like, well, SmackDown's basically a pay-per-view as well, isn't it? So we'll do some pay-per-view matches on there.
It's a TV show, definitionally.
But they do certain title matches, and I get that. I mean, you've already got 2 45-minute matches probably on there.
You could get in and out in 20 minutes.
Yeah, but it's the MFTs, man. Like, you're going to put all them away in 25 minutes?
I could put Tama Tonga away.
Tama?
No, what's Tongalua?
Yeah. I'm going to say Tama's got a history with members of...
Oh, no, he kicked my ass. Tongalua would... I feel like I could just move at the right time and he would hurt himself. He's a danger to himself. That's how bad he is at pro wrestling. Do you think there's anything of like... It's Levesque's thing to do? No, we're doing war games because he loves war games. He grew up on, loves it. And he's tried to make it a thing. Do you reckon if there's like a really well-received, brisk, and it would have to be, as you say, with the 2 War Games matches, like a really brisk, fun, well-received, entertaining Survivor Series match, it does his big War Games campaign a little bit of a, maybe people don't want that.
Well, me, Nicholas and Phil have debated this for a while on WrestleCulture of like, it doesn't have to be War Games every year. It can be War Games when it's merited. It can be Survivor Series when it's merited. It can be Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT if you want to do it.
You do have to configure the arena and the seat map and everything around War Games.
And I suppose the difficulty is like if you go to San Diego, you're like, I bloody love War Games. I'm gonna get a ticket for next year's War Games, and then 2 months out they go, by the way, no War Games. It's just traditional Survivor Series. You might feel a bit like, but
would the tickets be on sale that early?
I don't know, but I'm just.
I
think they like to establish things. This is the Rumble, this is so-and-so.
Yeah.
This is NXT Deadline.
To be fair to Levesque, like even McMahon, was it 2010 or 11 or 9? 2009. Somewhere around that time, didn't he? He was just like, I'd say it's antiquated, is the Survivor Series, so not doing it anymore. 1 year later, welcome to the Survivor Series, pal. So, it's the idea of having that many stars wrestling one another in one ring, basically since the advent of Raw and Nitro. was just like, well, stars wrestle each other every single week. Like that became, it's just not an attraction. It's not something you would pay money to. So they tried to spruce it up with the brand warfare stuff, and that was obviously hilariously bad. So I get why they don't do it in the traditional way. Truly, I do. Well, match on one, it can't hurt.
2010 was the year that they tried to rebrand Survivor Series. Public outcry. Keep going. I'm genuinely astonished that they haven't done Raw, SmackDown, and NXT for the reason we've mentioned before. I'm just like, oh, look, it's Cody, CM Punk, and Ricky Saints.
Yeah.
All facing each other, all champions. Where are we? Yeah, so Sami Zayn hyped up that match, and then we got, from our days in NXT, DIY versus former NXT Tag Team Champions. I'm talking, of course, about Axiom. And Nathan Fraser.
When I'm cleaning windows.
He had a bad day yesterday, didn't he?
What happened yesterday?
You don't know. Yeah. He's a Spurs fan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's always tweeting about Spurs. I don't follow him. He just sometimes haunts my For You tab.
Yeah, so Ciampa had a shirt that says, don't call me a jackass. Gargano had a shirt that says, don't call my best friend a jackass. And Candice LeRae had a shirt that says, don't call my husband's best friend a jackass.
I bet you Gargano was delighted himself when he came up with that. And he lost sleep at night before the morning of the pitch to Triple H, just wondering if he can get it through.
Surprise, surprise.
I'll get you one, he said.
Fraxiom started off the match fast. Big dives to the outside by both of them. But Gargano attacked Nathan Fraser, who countered a back suplex by landing on his feet. But then Ciampa pulls Nathan Fraser out, throws him against the steps, and they do the whole pat on the back thing. We go to a break, come back. Nathan Fraser is just flying around all over the place. Running moonsault on Gargano, gets a 2 count. Fraser goes up top, but misses a splash. They hit a shatter machine, do DIY for a great 2 count. Axiom comes in after Fraser finally gets away, but as he dives from the top, he gets hit with a huge knee to the face from Ciampa. DIY hit that super kick fairy tale ending combo of theirs, but Nathan dives in with a splash at the last second to break it up. It looks like Fraxiom might have the match in hand. On the top rope, Axiom hits an avalanche Spanish fly. Fraser takes off and takes out Ciampa from the top. But in all the madness of all this, Candice LeRae steals Axiom's mask. And of course, Gargano just rolls him up for the 1, 2, 3.
Aye. Well worked. It was well worked, exciting at points, brisk. And I've made this point when I see matches like this on WWE TV, the characters aren't particularly over, which they aren't. Like, put it this way, the difference is stark between this match. You could argue the work was probably better than, remember that Raw match I went mad for and you were incredulous that I loved it. It was McDonaugh and Bálor versus Styles and Dragon Lee. Is that the title change?
I think so.
Because people really are invested in the Judgment Day and look at them as stars. And AJ's got the seniority and all the rest of it. And I think he was just coming off the back of the Cena match at this point. When this type of wrestling can really work in WWE, this fast-paced, like modern style, for lack of a better word, when you've got a crowd that's just kind of into it and the stakes just don't really exist, I just find it like these people are on the wrong promotion. You know, it could be better anywhere else. Finish was interesting.
See that face.
Handsome guy. His eyes can burn through you. You ever watched that match for White Wolf Wrestling in Spain in 2018? It got a kid on the map and he got the NXT UK deal. Who was it against, though?
The Wolf from Gladiators, obviously.
No, it was against...
Not all the way, sorry. Okay. Hang on, I've gone too far now.
It's time to play the game! Time to play the game! Ha 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 ha!
Did it, diddle-a-da. Against whom did a kid wrestle for White Wolf Wrestling in Spain in 2018, that was like, Dave gave it 5.
Ooh.
And I'm thinking, how good is wrestling right now? You've got All In, New Japan still in its resurgence, NXT still great. People like Brit Rez, not me that much. And they've even got 5-star matches in bloody Spain now. Yes, endlessly great wrestling. Against whom?
Not Nathan Frazier.
No. But you basically, so like you're looking at like a name on the British and European circuit.
Is that SJ?
Yes. You got it in 2. It's incredible. It is incredible, that match. Like, it's weird. ZSJ is, he's wearing, he must have like got his gear lost or whatever, because he wears what Daniel Garcia wears now in AEW. Those long baggy gym shorts. And like a kid in this match is like, it's a hometown advantage, all slapping the ring, the fans. It's like a proper, vicious, purely technical match, really. They do this spot where a kid's, like ZSJ is like dominating him on the mat and all the rest of it. Then a kid gets back into it. And like the camera, like, operator shoots it. So it's like he's below a kid's face as he's like in a sort of mount. And like, ZSJ is trying to escape, and a kid's looking at him like, "No, you're in my promotion. I'm the boss here. I'm the law here. What are you gonna do about it?" And he's got him in a hole, and a kid's staring at ZSJ, and I'm like, I want this guy to. Yeah. He looks hot, and they put him in a mask and made him a high flyer. So it's incredibly hot, incredible at facial expressions, intense technician. WWE signs him, puts him in a mask and makes him a high flyer because he's small in it. And he's still great at that as well.
So then we got the sit-down between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair with dramatic music underneath. I'll play the role of Rhea Ripley. You can play the role of Charlotte Flair in all this. Rhea says, "G'day, look, whatever went down between us, it was just to prove who's the best, mate. I wanted to be the best. You wanted to be the best. Not saying we won't get back to that point for War Games. Put it all to the side, mate. I don't know whether you know it or not, Charlotte, but after everything we've been through, I've always respected you. And honestly, if someone would have asked me, who are you going to go to war with? Who are you going to stand side by side with? Me, Charlotte Flair." And Charlotte Flair says, yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Kwanzaa, and you can trust me too. Like this, burying the hatchet. Good to see. Important.
Did they need dramatic music for all this?
They just added to it, didn't it?
Did it? That's what I'm asking. I'm clearly implying no.
Each their own. Yeah. Another last time is now tournament match. Finn Balor versus Penta.
This is main event time.
Nearly. Balor tried to jump Penta as part of his awesome entrance, but Penta beat him up, hit him with a sling blade, flip dive over the top rope, takes to break. We come back, super kick from Penta. He wants the Penta driver. Balor hits the final cut for a 2 count. Penta hit a sort of modified muscle buster for a 2. Balor fights back, sling blade, but misses the coup de grace. Penta driver gets 2, and then a Mexican destroyer gives Penta the 1, 2, 3.
This was, admitted, this was nothing.
Oh, yeah, that's why my notes are quite brief.
This was next to nothing. Like, this was Finn Balor singles match special. He can still bring it in tags as I think Finn Balor, one of the more underrated wrestlers for his tag team efforts on Raw this year. Genuinely, I've had fun with the vast majority of them. Put him in a ring with new partner on the apron, and he's been doing this for years. Fair play to him. He does next to now in these matches. Like, he's like, if he had a hobby of surfing that people know of, he'd be talked about in the same way as Shinsuke. It's only because Shinsuke has a hobby that he likes to do that people say, he just wants his surfing money and he just wants, to surf. That's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to him, really. People just think he does it he wrestles like he does. He's crap now. If Finn Balor had like rock climbing is his hobby, he would be like talked about in the same way as like in terms of lack of effort, lack of thought in doing anything. When was the last good Finn Balor singles match? He just doesn't have them.
You just know he's got a big fat veiny cock. That's what we know about him. Don't we?
Yeah.
You've
Like
got
sausage.
surfing, big fat veiny cock.
Like sausage. Shut up, long dick boy. Incredible tweet that.
Yeah.
I did like when Balor did the Penta dance.
Yes.
That was good.
Bad news.
Oh,
Sheamus is out of the last time he's now
right, it
tournament
is. I thought you were doing a bit
with an injury.
I
We don't know.
thought you were trivializing things again.
No. We don't know who his replacement is going to be against LA Knight next week on SmackDown. So we'll have to wait.
I think I might have read a spoiler.
I think I might have seen it as well, yeah. But before we get to the final Women's War Games face-off, a little something we like to do around here when a certain someone cuts a promo. Solo Sikoa says, Penta, congratulations. Tonight was your night, but come Monday, your time is up and my time is now. And I thought, wait a second. That is John Cena's catchphrase, and that's why he's in this tournament. Next week, I want to make an example out of Sami. Sami's 5 against my 5. He's surrounded by his boys, by the way, and they look class. He really thinks he's got a chance. You got a chance against my family tree? Oh, boy, you don't stand a chance. Ray Phoenix, we're going to put your ass in the dirt. It's 10 feet under.
You've somehow made yourself look lamer than Solo Sikoa. Well done.
Shinsuke Nakamura, I'm sending your ass back to Japan. And the Motor City Machine Guns, you ain't got enough ammo, like guns, to take out my family tree. And Sami, when the smoke clears, it's just me and you. I'm going to put you away for good. And I was like, I cannot wait for this. A lot of love for the MFTs on the SmackDown shows. Your thoughts? Now you've been away for a while.
I think they're a stable who've just got new face paint.
Yeah, you weren't treated to that. They were just in normal, weren't they? Here, no white face paint for you, which is a shame.
Jeff Cobb looks like a joke.
Who? Never heard of him. JC Mateo all day, baby.
If you don't know who Jeff Cobb is, how do you know that was his name before JC Mateo then?
So I'm just saying, you know.
Right, okay,
Yeah,
saying stuff.
Saying
Just
stuff.
saying stuff.
Yes, that's what I do.
Yep.
You two have the takes. I just say stuff and press the buttons. Right, out come the Babyface Women's War Games team. Well, 4 of them at least. Charlotte, her new best friend Rhea Ripley, IYO SKY, Alexa Bliss. And Rhea says, "G'day, it MSG, the Kabuki Warriors, Nia. That's what I call her.
Nia Jax.
Nia and Lash. They didn't bloody realise that we were united, you know. It's a real pretty big problem for them because it's moments like that you find out who's real, who's bloody fake, mate. If I'm going to war with someone, I want to make sure I'm in there with the right people. People like my friend over here, IYO SKY. Someone who's skilled as they are dangerous. I know if anything's going to go down, she's going to come in swinging. Then you got Alexa and Charlotte. 2 of the most decorated bloody women in this division, mate. Look, we might not be best friends, but at the end of the day, I know I can trust them. They can trust me. Bonza. That being said,
Just a quick question though: if Rhea Ripley had nobody on her team,
Yeah.
yeah, of course, if I was going into War Games, thank you for asking, Nicholas. If I was going into War Games and for whatever reason I'd lost my best friend, IYO SKY, and the tag team of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, then it'd be like, you got no f***ing mates. Anyway, with that being said, we're going to need 5, so... Yeah.
With that said, you didn't say it.
Need a 5th bloody member, mate. Here she is. And here she comes. It's AJ Lee. Oh, light it up, light it up, light it up, light it tonight, light it up, light it up. But, in amongst all this...
Start skipping. I hate her. I hate her. Shush is a lovely person.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure she is. And I do genuinely think, she's done like a lot of really good, open, frank discussion about mental health.
Yeah.
I genuinely think she's probably a nice bit. Her TV character and the fact that I'm meant to receive it as a baby face is...
Well, as she's making her entrance, suddenly here comes, everyone's calling it this, Nia Jax and Lash Legend, Kabuki Warriors. They jump the babyfaces in the ring. And as AJ runs down to make the save, she's, bam, blindsided by the final member of the heel team, that being Becky Lynch. She beats her up. There's mayhem here in Denver. Legend hits Charlotte with a pump kick. Really liking the way they're building up Lash for this.
That's just great, man.
Io gets taken out. Rhea fights back. She headbutts Lash and Asuka. No, super kicks Asuka. But then Becky trips her. Nia hits her with a body avalanche. They kick Io out the ring. There's an annihilator to Rhea Ripley. And Becky shakes hands with Asuka, joins her team. And the heels stand tall as we go off the air here.
Yeah, I don't care about this. I like Lash Legend.
I like the like AJ, oh, bollocks about it, and then just, I love a good, like, side swipe. Is that the phrase? I remember the Cena one on poor Charles, what's his name? Robinson.
Yeah, that was incredible, that. It was unbelievable. He took a better bump in that friggin' match than CM Punk did.
But yeah, I'm very happy that AJ and Becky have been added to the two teams.
I'm happy because I'm going to laugh my ass off.
That's next Monday, of course. We'll be reviewing all of this.
We will.
But let us know your thoughts on SmackDown.
Sure will.
In the comment section below. Or on X, at WhatCulture WWE. Watch, they can follow all three of us. You can follow Michael Sidgwick at
M. Sidgwick.
Follow our producer, Adam Nicholas, at...
It's Adam Nicholas.
And you can follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. As I said, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts.
Do you reckon you could say anything on the podcast at this point?
What do you mean?
Big tits. It's just like it's the outro, so it's done. Like if I'm listening, I'm all right. They're done.
I think people always stick around just in case. You never know.
Big tits.
There you have it. Raw preview is available right now, and we'll be back later to review Full Gear, of course. But for now, it's been the SmackDown review. My thanks to Michael Sidgwick. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.